The new head of the Oil Sands Advisory Group, Tzeporah Berman, is an anti-oil, anti-pipeline, anti-Canadian radical. Now, that advisory group will decide the future of Alberta's oil patch, but Berman herself spent years fighting against it, against Canadian prosperity, at the anti-everything organization Greenpeace. And then she went on to co-found the radical anti-pipeline activist group Forest Ethics. At Forest Ethics, they oppose everything that moves oil. Tankers, pipelines, even trains. They're funded by big environmental charities to attack Canadian oil and Canadian oil only, which we know is the most regulated oil on the planet. And now the co-founder of Forest Ethics, Berman, is the fox in the henhouse of Alberta oil. When investors to Alberta are looking for stability and a business-friendly environment, they're getting greeted at the door by their self-proclaimed greatest enemy. And just a couple weeks ago, actually at the end of June, Berman compared the oil sands to Mordor, the fictional land from Lord of the Rings, full of volcanoes, devastation, smoke, darkness, and evil. Just watch this.
Well, the tar sands are the single largest and most destructive industrial project on Earth. So when you're there, it feels a bit like Mordor. It's, as far as the eye can see, mines. Basically mines.
So after beautiful Fort Mac rallied to fight fire in hot weather to save their community, in comes Berman to get her digs in. Now, I know Berman claims to have been to Fort Mac, so if that's the case, this is worse than just her embellishing. If she's been to Fort Mac, I know she's flat out lying. Anyone who's ever been to Fort Mac knows Berman isn't being truthful, because Fort Mac is one of the most beautiful places to live, work, and raise a family I've ever seen in my life, and I personally would be livid if someone told those same lies about my community. Now, Berman's claims were so outrageous that I thought I'd talk to one of the most proud Fort McMurrayites I could think of. I went out to Airdrie to ask Wild Rose leader and MLA for Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, Brian Jean, what he thought of Berman's comments about his hometown. Just listen.
Well, I'm always concerned when anybody likens my home to Mordor or to a place that smells. It's just simply not the truth. And somebody that will make allegations like that are not the truth, that always concerns me when they're in positions of power or influence. And in this particular case, they've been appointed to something that is truly important. It represents the oil sands industry, which is the economic engine of this country, and something that has not been managed properly by previous provincial governments, and certainly not this federal government. I think that we are going down a path that is not helpful for the economy nor jobs for Albertans and all Canadians. And I want to implore the Prime Minister and all politicians in Canada to work together with Alberta and Albertans in the Wild Rose to build a better economy in Alberta that all Canadians will benefit from.
Now, I would not be as calm and diplomatic as Brian Jean was if someone was maligning my beautiful hometown the way Berman did in her comments about Fort Mac. Surely now Berman will do her penance and her best to make us forget her decade of campaigning against Alberta jobs by putting on an oil sands t-shirt, because apparently those t-shirts are like magic. They erase all the bad you've ever done attacking people who support the oil sands as evil climate deniers. The Premier's Southern Outreach Director and former rabid Vancouver-based anti-pipeline lobbyist, Marcella Monroe, slapped on her free oil sands t-shirt, and suddenly she was one of us. That's how they think this all works. Rachel Notley thinks we are all that stupid, that putting on a costume and slapping a fresh coat of paint on her pet activists can fool Albertans into forgetting history. Man, that's insulting. But at The Rebel, we're doing something. We're buying billboards. The first one will be in Calgary. We want to show Albertans the truth about the radicals Rachel Notley is hiring to decide the future of the economy in our province. If you can help, go to fireberman.ca and you can donate there. You can also sign our petition asking Rachel Notley to fire Tzeporah Berman. Surely there was an Albertan out there who doesn't hate Alberta that could have co-chaired this panel to decide our fate. Let's get 100,000 signatures, one for every Alberta job loss someone like Berman sees as a victory in her war on big oil. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.